Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, you are
Oh,
audible, sir.
yeah, okay. Thank you, Priya. So let us start. In today's lecture, we will discuss about Amazon EC2. But before we see the practicals or hands-on related to Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, which is called as Amazon EC2, I'll also tell you about AWS. Last class, I told you about Amazon S3, that is Simple Storage Service, which is used to store different type of data. Like we have uploaded some images, we have uploaded some, uh, you can say, text files. We have uploaded different version of the same file, and we have seen that how to access those files. So in today's class, let us discuss about all the functionalities of AWS, and then we will specific to Amazon EC2. So Amazon Web Service is a platform that offers you cloud computing solutions, and these solutions are very flexible and they are scalable. It is very easy to use, and it is also cost effective. It is highly available and it is secure. So there are different type of services we have, which is there are some services are dedicated to storage, some services are dedicated to compute, some services are dedicated to secure the AWS network, right? So these all types of solutions, cloud computing solutions, you can find in AWS, right? So you need not purchase any infrastructure, rather than you are renting the resources. Based upon your usage, you are paying for the resources. Now we'll see, like here you can see different AWS security practices, certifications and standards. Although there is no specific standard that is applicable for all the different type of providers, but AWS has its own security practices, certifications and standards. But you will not find a common standard which is followed by all the cloud service provider. So AWS supports more security standards and compliance certifications than any other offering, right? And helping satisfy compliance requirement for virtually every regulatory agency around the globe. Like you can see, there are different type of agencies we have. Like we have Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. We have Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. We have Cloud Security Alliance. We have Motion Picture Association of America. We have DoD Cloud Computing Security Requirements Guide. We have Criminal Justice Information Services. We have NIST. We have Payment Card Industry or PCI, Data Security Standard DSS. Okay, it is in level 1. So you can see there are different type of standards are there. Like when we purchase a particular product also, we look into some hallmark, we look into some certifications like ISO certification, ISI mark, food corporation certifications. By looking into that, you can say yes, this service follows some standards. Now as you know that you have to create one account. Already you have created an account, so you all are in AWS free tier, right? Because we have newly created this account, so it is always free. So these free tier offers do not expire and are available to all AWS customers, right? So it is given to you for a limited period of time. Once that period is over, your free tier is over. Just like whenever you are installing a paid software, they are giving you a 7 days trial or 30 days trial. And once it is done, then you have to purchase the license. So up to 12 months, it is free. So you can enjoy these offers for 12 months following your initial sign up date to AWS. Similarly, there are also some short-term free trials are there, which offers you start from the date you active a particular service. For example, you have activated a service today, then your trial period starts today, because it is not possible for a user to explore all types of services in the very first day. So whenever you are using a particular service, based upon that, the trial period actually starts. Now, these are the some fact related to Amazon AWS, and you can see the free usage what they are providing. Like last class, we have discussed about this Amazon S3. Today's class, we are going to discuss about Amazon EC2. So Amazon S3, it is providing a storage infrastructure, and it is providing you 5 GB of storage. Along with that, it is providing you 20,000 GET request and 20,000 PUT request. You know that whenever you are communicating with one computer with another computer, like you know about HTTP request. Similarly, we have a GET request, we have a PUT request. So up to 20,000 GET request and PUT request, it is free. Once you exceed that, then you have to pay for your service. Similarly, if you go for Amazon EC2, EC2 is used for secure environment. EC2 is also used for resizing the computing capacity, and it is providing you 750 hours per month. And what instances EC2 is providing you? EC2 is providing you either a T2.micro instance, or it is providing you a T3.micro instance, right? So there are other different type of instances also we have seen. Some of these categories you can see there is a category called C4. C4 is a instance type. C5 is another instance type. D2, D3 are in D series. F1 is also another series. T2 and T3. We are talking about T2, T3 here, right? T2 micro and T3 micro. So these are the different instance series you can say, or instance types. So all the instances types are not providing similar type of resources, right? They are providing different type of resources. So if you want to categorize EC2 instance type, okay, if I ask you what are the different EC2 instance type, then you can say these are the instance types. But how you can categorize these instance types? You can categorize them based upon compute optimized. It is one category, compute optimized. Another series provide you storage optimized. Storage optimized. Another set of instances provide you accelerated computing. Accelerated computing. Another set of instances providing you general purpose only, right? So like as I mentioned here about C series, D series, F series, T series, and now you can, if you go to EC2, you will find different other series also. So out of this series, if you would like to know what are the series coming under the compute optimized, the series are C4 and C5. You can go to Amazon EC2 and compare these instances C4, C5 with let's say D2, D3, or D2, D3 with F1, or F1 with T2, T3. Then by looking into their configuration, you will come to know which one is compute optimized, which one is storage optimized, which one is used for general purpose, and which one is accelerated computing. So D2 and D3 series comes under the storage optimized, and F1 is coming under accelerated computing. T2 and T3 is coming under general purpose. Okay, other series also you can categorize into one of these category. Okay, either compute or storage or accelerated or general purpose. So what actually EC2 is going to give you? It is providing you a secure and resizable compute capacity in the cloud. Resizable means initially you have taken, let's say, T2 micro instance, or you can go for T2, T3 micro instance. Later point of time you want to resize. Initially you have taken 8 GB, you want to enhance it to 100 GB. That is possible by the help of Amazon EC2. And it is also providing a developer, right? Developers are feeling ease to use Amazon EC2. That's why EC2 is a popular platform. Not only these two services like Amazon S3, Amazon EC2, there are numerous services are there. Like another type of services you can see here that is called as Amazon DynamoDB. DB, you know, database, right? So if you go for Amazon DynamoDB in free tier, because we are talking about free usage, not paid usage, right? So if you go for Amazon DynamoDB, so it is providing you 25 units of each of read and write capacity, along with 25 GB storage is always free. Okay, 25 units of each read and write capacity and 25 GB of storage, it is completely free of cost. Similarly, nowadays, you know, Internet of Things is very popular. You can go for AWS IoT service, right? So here, you know, IoT case, we are connecting the IoT devices to the cloud, right? So AWS IoT facilitates connecting devices to cloud with 250,000 messages published or delivered per month. Per month, you can do up to a period of 12 months. So imagine how many messages you can publish and how many messages you can deliver. Similarly, there is another service that is called as Amazon Guard Duty. Okay, it facilitates intelligent threat detection. It actually main goal is to how to make your AWS instances secure, and it is continuously monitoring your AWS account to protect it, right? And free tier, this protection of your AWS account and workloads will be for a period of 30 days. After 30 days, the free tier is over. You have to pay for that particular services. So these are the some services. You will find thousands of services, right? Also, you have seen under computation also few services are there. Under storage also different type of services are there, right? So some of the popular services you can find in this particular slide, like Amazon S3, Amazon EC2, Amazon DynamoDB, AWS IoT, Amazon Guard Duty, right? So these are some of the popular services. Other popular services you can explore. But most of these services are free for 12 months after you first signing up. And if something is left over, that means if 750 hours is given to you and you have used only 50 hours, so you are remaining 700 hours, right? In a particular month, it is assigned you 750 hours and you have used only 50 hours. So 700 hours is left. So this leftover 3 monthly usage limit does not roll over to the next month. It will not add to next month 750. It will be turned to 0. Right. So you have to adjust the number of hours because it is not going to roll over to the next month. And note that, but exceeding any free limit, right? If you exceed 30 days in the case of Amazon Guard Duty, okay, or you can say IoT case, if you have exceeded 250,000 messages in a particular month, then they will be charged. They are going to charge you as per their standard rates, right? And need to pay as per the standard rates after 12 months is over. So up to 12 months, it is free. After 12 months, you have to pay whatever rates they have mentioned. So in order to access AWS, these are the some of the steps I have given here, so that step by step you can access AWS services. So you have to first sign up. You have to type https://aws.amazon.com and you have to provide your email address. Okay, enter your email address for verification and AWS account name. Name also you have to provide. So now you have a username password because you have already done Amazon S3. So through that you can sign up. Then the next step is to create the password for your account. You have to mention the root user password and confirm the root user password. So this free tier is provided under the root user. Okay, like different type of signups are there. Out of these sign-in options, you can say you have to select the root user. Okay, then The third step, the second step is to not only to create the password, but also provide some contact information, like whether you are to use this AWS for business purpose or personal purpose, your mobile number, your country address, state, postal codes. These also you need to fill up, right? This is step 3 actually. This is not step 4. So this is a 5-step process. Then step 4 is you have to provide your debit card or credit card informations. They are going to charge you $1 USD. Okay, it's like equivalent INR amount will be deducted from your account. Okay, this is just to check whether your card is valid or not. So other steps also you need to follow, like you can verify your identity, and sometimes Amazon also call back you or provide some kind of OTP or SMS to verify the contact number. Okay. Then in order to use a service, you have to choose a support plan. Okay. And subscribe to one of the plans like free tier, which costs nothing and has limited resources. As you are in free tier, you cannot expand it to a bigger size. Like I mentioned, initially you can take 8 GB, but if you want to enhance it to 100 GB, it is not coming under the free tier. So you have to pay for that particular service. And the final step is confirmation, and then you can log in again and you can use the services that are available in AWS Management Console. Okay. Now the account is created, it can be used to avail AWS service, right? So irrespective of, you can say, different type of services, you have to follow this step to create the AWS account, right? Now this is the AWS Management Console. Here you have to search for the services, right? This we have already discussed in practically in the previous class. Now come to AWS region. So if you see, whole world is divided into different regions. Okay, like there is a tool called Cloud Analyst. I'll also give a demo on Cloud Analyst in later classes. So in Cloud Analyst, if you go, you will find there are 6 different regions, starting from R0 to R5. Okay, total number of region is 6 different regions, right? So these regions are not overlapping in nature. They are non-overlapping. So one region is not overlapped with another region. One of the popular region, I can say US region. Okay, or you can say US East region, US West region that you have seen in Amazon, right? There is another region you can say that is called as Asia Pacific region. Asia and Pacific region. There is another region called Europe region, right? Like that, in AWS case also, the whole network is divided into different regions. So AWS region is a geographical location around the world, and that consists of multiple availability zones. Like here you can say, this is your region 1, this is your region 2. Region 1 consists of 3 availability zone, region 2 consists of 3 availability zone. Not necessarily they are having same number of availability zone. Sometimes one region may have 2 availability zone, another region may have 3 availability zone, another region may have 4 availability zone also, right? But here I am showing you an identical picture where both regions are having 3 availability zone. Like we have seen in market oriented cloud architecture. Okay, first is called as your data center. Data center means what? It consists of a set of servers or physical machines. And each physical machine you can create a virtual machines. So VMs is the smallest individual unit, right? In the similar fashion, here the uh, the region is a very big one, right? Like I mentioned, whole world is divided into 6 different regions, and under each region you have multiple availability zone, and in each and every availability zone, okay, it consists of one or more distinct data centers. Okay, it is having one or more distinct data centers. Like if you consider this particular availability zone, in this availability zone, you may have two data centers. If you consider another availability zone, it may consist of three data centers. Let it be a data center 3, data center 4, and data center 5. If you consider another availability zone, it is maybe data center 6 and data center 7. So again, under a particular availability zone, it is not necessary that you will get same number of data centers. Okay, the data centers may be different. Number of availability zones under a particular region is also different. So every region is physically isolated from and independent of every other region. Okay, like here you can see why these regions are not overlapped. Okay, the regions can be overlapped, but main problem is that if they are overlapped, if there is any fault occur in this overlapped region, it is going to affect both the regions. That is the reason why each and every regions are physically isolated. They are disjoint. They are not having any common place, right? Now, basically, these are the different regions. Like we have US East region, US West region, we have Africa region, we have Asia Pacific region. You can see also under Asia Pacific regions also, we have Hong Kong, we have Mumbai, we have Seoul, we have Singapore, right? Like that, there are different type of regions are there. And whatever data we are keeping in AWS, right? Like we have created Amazon S3. In Amazon S3, we have stored some data into our bucket. Okay. So data in a specific region is not replicated outside that particular region. If you stored your data in region number 1, the data will be not kept in region number 2, right? Because that is the violation of the policy, right? However, under a particular region, you have multiple availability zone. In that availability zone, you can replicate your data. Or under each and every availability zone, you have multiple data centers. There you can replicate the data. But data is not replicated outside that particular region. Okay. So you are responsible to replicate data across regions as per your requirement. So while you are creating a instance, you have to specify whether your data can be replicated to other region or not, right? But most of the case, they are not replicated to other region. And you are responsible for selecting the region to store the data as per your compliance and network latency requirement. Like we are belongs to this particular region. If I store the data in US East region, then the latency is going to increase, right? So always you try to choose not only in the free tier, but also when you go for the licensed one, okay, pay as you go model. So you have to always choose the instance location is the location which is closest to you. Suppose you are placed in US, then you have to choose the region among the first four, right? So that with respect to network latency means network delay. So that is better. Okay. And they are connected to multiple internet service providers and different power grids. Okay. Internet is provided by ISP and power is provided by whom? Your power grid. Okay. Electric grid. So they are connected to multiple providers so that at any point of time if there is a failure, it is not going to impact the system, right? And regions are interconnected using high-speed links. Okay, in between two different regions, also you have high-speed links, so that whenever you require to migrate or you want to take uh, the details of a particular instance, or if you want to store some instance in another region, okay, and you want to retrieve it, that becomes much more faster, right? So this is your AWS availability zones. So here you can see each region comprises at least two availability zones. Minimum requirement is two availability zone. In each and every region, let's say region 1, region 2, minimum requirement is 2. So in our example, I told you under each region we have 3. Okay, but at least you have to 2 availability zones. And Amazon is also adding some availability zones as well as some geographical regions over a period of time. But as per this link, if you go for this particular link, you will find total number of availability zone is 87. Okay, total number of geographical region is 27. Okay, total number of geographical region is 27. Total number of availability zone is 87. So what is the ratio you are getting? 87 divided by 27. How much you are getting? Can anybody tell? 87 divided by 27. How much you are getting? In average, you will get 3 regions. Right? So under a particular region, at least 3 availability zones are there. But minimum requirement is 2 availability zone. And availability zones are designed for fault isolation. If there is any fault happen, it is not going to impact. Under the availability zone, suppose availability zone is failed, or under availability zone you have multiple data center. The data centers are failed. So you have another availability zone from which you can retrieve your data. Right? So each zone has separate power sources, networking, and connectivity to reduce the likelihood of 2 zones failing simultaneously. So we are assuming that at a time not all the zones are going to be failed, right? Similarly, availability zones in a regions are interconnected using low latency links. How to achieve low latency? If you provide high speed link, it will cause you the low latency link. Okay. If there is a connection, your bandwidth is high. Okay, you can transfer as many data as possible within a fraction of time. So obviously you will achieve low latency. So in each zone, participating data centers are connected to each other over redundant low latency. So they are connected in such a manner that even if there is a failure exists, it is not going to degrade the performance of the system. Okay. So these intra and interzone links are heavily used for data replication by a number of AWS services, including storage and managed databases. Like we discussed about DynamoDB, right? So in that case also, the region of that connections, why we need more connections is that is for data replication purpose, right? And each AWS zone location is an extension of an AWS region. Right? Basically, region is what? It is nothing but a local zone. Right? And facilitates execution of highly demanding applications that require single-digit millisecond latency to your end user, such as media entrepreneur content creation, real-time gaming. It is very important, right? Where the delay should be as minimum as possible. If the delay is in terms of 2 digit, that means 10 second to 99 second, that is a no use, right? And AWS local zone place compute, storage, database, and other selected AWS services closer to end user, such as Amazon EC2, Amazon VPC, Amazon EBS, and Amazon file storage, right? And AWS local zones provides a high bandwidth and secure connections between local workloads and those running in the AWS region. Okay, so whatever we have discussed till now, let us see how actually it works when you go to EC2, right? So all of you open Amazon Web Service. Let me open from my system. Go to Amazon Web Service. All of you use your credential to log in using login to Amazon Web Service. Yeah, now I have successfully logged in into Amazon Web Service, and This is my AWS management console. Okay. So you may ask why is Amazon EC2 used? First thing, why we are using Amazon EC2 for scaling purpose. Like you know that as per NIST US, there are 5 different characteristics. Out of these 5 different characteristics, one characteristic is elasticity or scalability. The purpose of scalability is to instance can be scaled up or instance can be scaled down. Now, another advantages of using Amazon EC2 is that you can pay for what you use. Suppose we'll use the instance for 1 hour, then we have to pay for 1 hour. Okay. So as for your usage, you are going to pay. And also you can see Amazon EC2 can be integrated with other services. You can integrate Amazon EC2 with Amazon S3. EC2 is providing you computation. Okay. S3 is providing you storage. So you can integrate Amazon EC2 with Amazon S3. Similarly, you can also integrate Amazon EC2 with RDS. Okay. There is another service called RDS. Okay. So that also you can integrate with the EC2. So integrated service you can get. Okay. That is like, for example, you want to do with the database, right? Relational database. So for that, there is a service called as Amazon RDS, that is relational database service. That also you can integrate with Amazon EC2. And instance can be launched in one or more regions. Now you know what is a region and what is an availability zone, what is a data center. So you can launch your instance in one or more region. For example, you have deployed one instance in Indian region, right? Let's say Mumbai. Later point of time, you come to know that more request is coming for US East region. So you can deploy another instance in that region, US East region, so that they will get better services and latency can be minimized. And it also supports different type of operating system. You can do with Ubuntu, you can do with Windows, you can do with Mac operating system and other operating system. Also, one of the advantages is that it is works with Amazon Virtual Private Cloud, that is called as VPC, to provide secure network to the resources. Okay. And there are different type of pricing schemes are there. When you go to EC2, you will come to know, right? So all of you go to the services, click EC2. Like if you talk about different type of pricing options, one of the pricing options is called as on-demand instance. Okay, let me discuss here. It will be better. One is called as one type of that is called as EC2 instance pricing option. Pricing options. First one, you can say it is on-demand instance. What is on-demand instance? For example, you have used for 1000 hours, right? Price is, let's say, in Indian rupees, it is 8.933. So you can calculate what is the total price. Okay, what is the total price? Can anybody tell? If number of hours used the EC2 instances is 1000, and per hour you have to pay 8.933. What is the total price you have to pay? How much you have to pay for this instance? Number of hours is 1000. Price is 8.933. Just you have to multiply. So you will get 8933 INR. This much you have to pay. Very simple one. So what you can do with this instance? A instance can be launched, okay, or you can deploy it, or a instance can be stopped at any point of time. A instance can be hibernate at any point of time. Hibernate. A instance can be start. A instance can be reboot. A instance can be terminated. These are the different phases, you can say, or life cycle of a particular instance. Okay. Okay, this is price. This is one type of pricing schemes. If you go for another pricing scheme, the second type of pricing schemes are called as reserved instance. Reserved instance. Okay. So let us take an example. For example, what is there in the reserved instance? Suppose example, you have used for 1,000 hours. Okay. And upfront cost. So generally there is a no upfront cost when you go for on-demand instances. But if the upfront cost is there, let's say it is INR 8.933, and let's say price is INR 8.933. Okay. So for example, you have reserved in instances, right? Some cost is predetermined, right? Like if you see loan rates are also varies with respect to time. But if you are not willing to pay the loan rate as for the variation, what you can do, there is a fixed price that you can choose. Okay, let's say fixed price is 10% or 15%. That you have to pay. So you need not bother about the fluctuations of the loan rate. Right? That is another instance. The third type of instance is called as a spot instance. So when you go for spot instance, it will come. There is something called bidding. Bidding will come into the picture. Similarly, we have another type of pricing options in AWS that is called as saving plans. Okay. Again, saving plans is of two types. You may go for compute saving, or you can go for EC2 instance saving. Okay. So if you go for compute saving plan, you will find much more flexibility, right? But if you go for EC2 saving plan, you will get some special discount or a significant discount you can get. But most of the time we rely on-demand instance. Okay. Now what you can do, let us go to this AWS and let us see how to go for Amazon EC2, right? So let us first learn, like AWS, Amazon S3 also I told you some specific task. Here also I'll tell you some of the specific tasks, right? The first task is how to launch an instance, right? So you have to go to services, as I said, you have to click EC2, then you will be in EC2 management console. It is not as AWS management console, it is EC2 management console. So here you can see how many instances are running, how many elastic IPs are there, how many load balancers are there, snapshots are there, right? Auto scaling groups, security groups, other things are there. So no need to worry about this thing. Once this lecture is over, you can easily understand what is the meaning of these different options, right? So now you can see all the values here, it is 0 except the security groups. So some by default security groups is given to us, right? Now, in order to launch an instance, you can see under launch instance, it is written to get started, launch an Amazon EC2 instance, which is a virtual server in the cloud. Now I am not owning this instance, owning this server, rather than I am renting this particular server. So what I will do, I will click launch instance. Okay, then here you can see there is an option for launch instance, right? There is another option, launch instance for template. So there is some predefined templates are given to you. You can select one of those template, right? But currently it is not there. That's why it is hidden here, right? So click launch instance. Okay. Once you click the launch instance, it is asking you, like Amazon EC2 allow you to create virtual machine or instances that run on the AWS cloud, right? So you have to mention your server name. So let me give the server name is Ubuntu. Let's say Ubuntu demo. I'm giving a arbitrary name. You can give your any name as a server name, right? So I have written Ubuntu demo. Okay. Now Coming to this application and OS image, here you have AMI. What is AMI? That is called as Amazon Machine Image. So AMI is basically, it is a template. What it contains? It contains software configurations. Software configuration means you have operating system, you have application server, you have applications required to launch your instance. Okay, so you can see the number of operating systems you can find here. One is called as Amazon Linux, Mac operating system, Ubuntu operating system, Windows operating system, Red Hat operating system, SUSE Linux, Debian operating systems. So there are different type of operating systems are there. For example, I am interested in Ubuntu. So I am selecting Ubuntu. So it says that Ubuntu Server 22.04 LTS SSD. Now you know we are using SSD, volume type is available. And in the free tier eligibility, there are two things are only there. So you have to use either first one or the second one. Okay. So let us go for the default one. I am not changing anything. Okay. Now what you will do, you can see in free tier which instance they are giving. They are giving T2.micro instance. Okay. Similarly, T3.micro instances is also free. Like T1 micro instances is also free in the free tier eligible, right? Other instances are not free, right? You can see, you can go for any series, but these instances are not free. Okay, so now here you can see there is key pair. What is key pair? What is key pair? Can anybody tell? What is key pair? So key pair means there is a public key and there is a private key. Are you aware of public key and private key? Public key, private key is there in which type of cryptography? Can anybody tell? Public
So
key and
symmetry.
private. Yes. Symmetric key case, you have one key, right? Yeah. Ronak mentioned about asymmetric key. Okay. Asymmetric case, you have a public key and private key. Symmetric key means you have only one key. Like one room, you have one lock, and two persons are staying in the same room. So one person can lock that room, another person can come unlock that room. If there are two keys are there. Okay. But when you go for asymmetric key, you have a public key and you have a private key. So let us create a new key pair, right? So all of you click create a new key pair. Create new key pair. So it is asking you to write key pair name. You can write any name. I am writing Ubuntu key for me. Ubuntu key for me. The name can include up to 255 ASCII characters. You can give any name, right? It cannot include leading or trailing spaces, right? So I am creating a key pair name that is called as Ubuntu key for me, right? And it is using RSA algorithm. Can anybody tell what is the full form of RSA? What is the full form of RSA? There are three scientists, right? One is Rebest, Samir, and Edelman, right? They developed one algorithm that is called as RSA. Okay, so I'm keeping as it is, but private key file format, I want to use .ppk because we are going to use PuTTY. But if you want to use OpenSSH, then you can use this particular file format. So in this page, what I have written the key pair name. Also, I have selected .ppk. Okay, for use with PuTTY. Now I am clicking create key pair. Then you can see one key pair is downloaded. Okay, one key pair is downloaded, which is available in my download folder. The name is Ubuntu key for me.ppk, right? Okay, now it is done. Okay, we have created a key pair. Let us click launch instance. So see here, it is a process that it is doing. Now successfully, I have initiated a launch of instance. Now go to your EC2 dashboard. In left side, you have a panel, right? Okay. Now go to your EC2 dashboard and wait for some time because it will start the instance. Okay. Have you created this instance or any doubt in the instance? Please tell me. So I'm clicking now instances to check whether instance is created or not. So you can see my instance name is Ubuntu demo. It is a T2 micro instance. The status check is initializing. Okay. And this instance state is now running. Up to this, have you completed in your AWS? Or you want me to repeat? Are you doing? Anyone is doing? Okay, you can see this instance. Now instance is ready, right? Once you click this instance, you can get the details of instance, or you can go to EC2 dashboard. Okay. Here it will be reflect very soon that number of instances is 1. Okay. Now, if I go to instance, you can get the details about that particular instance, right? And details about the instances you can find here, like details, security, networking, storage, status check, monitoring, and a tag. These things you can find or you can change whenever it is required. And if you want to know the summary of this particular instance, you can simply click here so that you can get the details of this particular instance. Like each and every instance is having a instance ID. It is having a public IP address. This is a public IP address 3.86.94.220. Can anybody tell it is belongs to which class? 3.86.94.220. This belongs to which class? Which class of IP? Tell me which class networking you have studied. Guess it? Anyone? Which class? Have you studied classless addressing?
Sir, class A.
Yes, it is class F. Okay, now you tell me this private IP address, IPv port address, it is belongs to which class? (172) belongs to which class?
Sir, B.
B. Okay, it is
Sir,
belongs
class
to
B. Class B.
class B. Yes. Okay. Now see, these are the real IPs. These are not these are not fake IPs, right? These are original IPs, right? Okay. So now we have seen here how to create an instance, right? The next task for EC2 is that how to host a website. Now I want to create a website, which is a, you can say, static website through this IP address, right? So for this, I need a public IP address. right? My public IP address is 3.86.94.220. So you copy this IP address by clicking here. So now you can see there is a message public IPv4 address is copied. And you install putty. Sharing the link in the chat box. Okay, here you can download the putty. It's a very small software. Download putty. So I'm giving you 5 minutes time. You download it and install it in your system. So download putty. You can download as per your system configuration, 64-bit or 32-bit. Okay. This is the package file and this is the binary file. Okay. Once you download, open putty. So I have already downloaded in my system. I have putty. So you can see this icon you will get putty.exe. Once it is installed, you can see in your system. And open it. Okay, once you get this page, please let me know. Anybody install putty? Say yes or no. Have you installed putty or not? Have you installed? Neeraj?
Sir, the chat is disabled for us.
No, why it is disabled? Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, now you can download. Have you installed?
Sir, just a minute, sir.
First you create an instance if you have not created. Without that you will not get details. First you create an instance. Once you see the instance, you click the instance ID, copy this public IP address, install putty. Once you come to this page, please let me know. What about others? Are you doing?
Sir, can you please tell again which ID to enter?
No, you have to take this public IPv4 address.
Can we take the same that is displayed on your screen?
No, no, you have to create your own website, right? So you need a
Okay,
unique
sir.
IP address. If you take my IP, so whatever website I will design, you can see that website. But you cannot design your own website. So this is very simple. You create an instance. You go to your EC2 dashboard. Okay, click launch instance. Okay, then you mention a server name. I mentioned my server name is Ubuntu demo. Then select operating system as Ubuntu. Okay, then create a public private key pair by clicking here. Here you mention the key pair name and select the private key format as .ppk. Okay, then you can create the key pair. You write some name here, then one file is downloaded that you keep in your local storage, because the public key is with Amazon, private key is with you, through which you can authenticate. And once that, then you click launch instance. Okay, once you do a launch instance, then go to your instance. You can see your instance is running. Now you can see the status check is 2 by 2 checks passed, so it is already done. So if you click instance ID, you will get instance summary. In instance summary, you have to click public IPv4 address. Okay, Ronak mentioned that the sir cannot install in Mac. Okay. Can you try with OpenSSH? Because there is another option here, right? OpenSSH. You check if putty is not there, and you go for OpenSSH.
So I mean I can install putty.
Okay, you install, na? Then that is okay. Then this is a web browser, na? This is simply a web browser to launch an instance. I think you can do it. Not required any operating system. You can choose any operating system. There is no issue.
No, sir. I
Like
mean
this.
I can install putty or something you said to install, no?
Yeah, putty, yes.
So that one I can install.
Okay, then it's fine. Okay, Neeraj, is it done?
Sir, I'm doing, sir. The website is running slow. I don't know.
I think the size is small only, right? If you go for putty dot Acha, you download this one. It is 3.5 MB only. Okay, or you go for putty.exe, it is also small only. 1 KB, it is very less. Okay. Okay, so once you have installed putty, what you have to do, here it is asking specify the destination you want to connect to. So you can see here, this is my public IP, right? Public IPv4 address. I'm pasting my public IPv4 address, yes, here, right? So in host name, I'm writing 3.86.94.220. Okay, your IP address is different from my IP address. Don't copy my IP address, right? And port number is 22. Okay, port number is 22. Can anybody tell what is 22 port number? What is port number 22? This is for SSH. That is called a secure cell communication. Okay, and it also allows remote administration access to the virtual machine. Okay, so once it is done, right? Only I have pasted this IP address. I have not done any other thing, right? Then you can see in the left panel you have SSH that I called you. Call you that the full form is secure cell, right? Then you maximize SSH, right? Under SSH you have AUTH, auth, right? You click auth because it is going to provide you authentication. So this auth is asking here. You can see under auth you have an option private key file for authentication. Private key file for authentication. You browse it, give your Ubuntu file .ppk file and click open. Okay, have you tried or you are getting any issue? Let me know. How many of you installed putty? Right? Yes, in the chat box. Okay, Saurabh is done. Okay, AWS site is slow. Okay, no issue. Okay, otherwise you note down the steps. Okay. So what I did here, I have specified my host name, which is shown here in AWS. Port number is 22. Go to your SSH, maximize it. Go to auth, provide the private key. Okay, private key which you have created. Then you have to press open. Then it is saying the server host key is not cached in the registry. You have no guarantee that server is the computer you think it, right? You accept it. If you trust this host, please accept. If you don't trust, okay, then you have to cancel. If you want to do it for only one time, you can click connect once, right? So I'm clicking accept. Okay, now I am able to access this particular server. The server IP is 3.86.94.220. So it is asking me to log in. So I am saying login as Ubuntu. So it is authenticating. You can see here, as I have provided my key, that is Ubuntu key for me, it has authenticated it. Right? After successful authentication, it is allowing you to access that terminal. See, this particular Ubuntu terminal is not in my computer system. It is running in AWS. Okay. Now, what you have to do, you have to update, because you don't know whether this particular system is having update configuration or not. So for that, I am writing sudo apt-get. Then you write update. Okay, this is super user, right? Assuming super user. So I am updating it. So it will take some time to update all the files. Okay. So first, what I did, I have written login as Ubuntu. As you provided Ubuntu key for me, by taking that file, it is going to authenticate it. Okay. Then once the authentication is done, first you have to write sudo. You can see, note down these commands. Later point of time you can do it. Okay. Sudo apt-get update. Okay. Then let me connect to my Apache server. So I can write sudo apt-get install Apache 2. Note down this command. Sudo apt-get install Apache 2. So if I press, it is asking me, do you want to continue? I'm saying yes. It is reading database. Yeah, it is done. So you can see here it is written, no service need to be restarted, no container need to be restarted, no interceptions are running outside outdated binaries, no VM guests are running outdated hypervisor binaries on this host. Right? So before you create a website, you need to change the security group. So in order to change the security group, you have to again go to this instance summary. Okay, under instance summary, you can see there is a security option, right? So click the security option and you can see this is your security group. Click the security group. Okay, this is all details related to this security group. Right, now click action in the right side. You can see in the right side you have an action. Okay, click it. And here you can find two rules. One is called as inbound rule, which is for incoming. Another is called as outbound rule, that is for outgoing. Okay. So let us edit the inbound rule. You can see one of the inbound rule is there. This is the security group. Type is SSH. Okay. And source is custom. Now I am adding another rule. I am selecting the type is HTTP because I am going to give this access to you, right? So I want to change this to HTTP and I'm changing the source to anywhere IPv4. Okay, I am adding one more rule here. After that, let me save the rule, or the rule is added. Okay. What is my IP address? Can anybody tell what is IP address? So you can see this is my IP address, right? This is my IP address. So I'm giving you in that box. This is my IP address. Can anybody click this? Can anybody access this particular IP address? Check once. Open a new tab. Paste this one. 3.86.94220. What you are getting? What you are getting? Please respond.
Sir, it's coming Apache to default page, Ubuntu
Yes.
networks. This configuration.
Like sometime yes, exactly. This page you are getting, right?
Yes, sir.
So sometimes when internet is not there, so you are getting a default page, right or not? You are getting a game, right? If internet is disconnected, you will get a game, okay, to play the game, or some default page. Okay, like that. This is the default page of our server, but we are not happy with this default page. Okay, what do we actually want? We want our own page. When somebody type this one 3.86.94220, we want our content rather than Apache 2 default page content. Okay, so what you need to do? You should replace this file. Where is this file? You can see here. It is saying you can replace this file, which is located at. This is I'm pasting in the chat box. You can get the details. Okay, the default page is there in this path /var/www/html/index.html. Okay, so you can replace this file and put your file so that whenever you are accessing your server, you will get your own page, right? Okay, now let us go to Putty, right? So check in which directory you have. Okay, you are in the home directory, right? But the default directory. So I want cd, say I want to change directory. What is the path they provide here? /var /www/html. Okay, this is the directory, right? Once you click it, so you can see now the path is coming as /var/www/html. So what is the file inside this one? Obviously, it is expected that there is a file called index.html. Okay, this is the path, right? So how to remove a particular file? Can anybody tell? How to remove this particular file? What is the command to remove a file?
RM.
Exactly. So what should I write? SUDORM. And I want to remove this index.html file. Right? Now the file is removed because you can check the list. Right? It is not showing any file. So what I have to do? I have to create a file. You have removed this file. Right? When you press enter, now you see there is no file. Right? So you should give a particular file. Earlier there is a file with HTML content, right? Or you can say index.html. that it is showing, but you have removed it. So you need to create a HTML file here. Okay, how to get this one? So for this, you can write sudo nano index.html. Sudo nano index.html. Now you can see here there is a index.html page. You can add the any content. Okay, so let me write a very small one, small HTML content. Later point of time, you can write a HTML content as for your choice, right? And you can paste here as a index.html so that the same content will be accessed when you access this page 3.86.94.220. So let me write a very simple one. Let it be HTML. You know, HTML is having pair tag and standalone tag. So HTML/HTML. Within that, you have to write. Let me write the header. Okay, which we write as head, and within head and class head, you have to write some content. Let it be the title is suppose I want to write welcome to Sanjay's website, right? And let it be /title. Okay. Now header part is done. Let us go to the body part. So body part you have to write again. It is a pair tag body to class body, right? And within that, suppose I want to write one content. Let it be hello friends. This is Sanjay from NIT Warangal. Right. So now this is a simple document. Right. You can write anything. Not necessarily whatever I written, you will write the same thing. As for your choice, you write. Okay, you know how to develop a website, how to create a HTML page. Based on that, you can write. So in order to exit, you have to write escape and X for exit. Okay. Now I have successfully changed the file. Okay, go to this tab and refresh it. What you are getting? Are you getting this message? Type this website. Let it be 3.86.94.220. Again, I am sharing in the chat box. Access this page, and are you getting this content? Yes. So here you can see I have written header part, welcome to Sanjay's website. That's why you are getting welcome to Sanjay's website here. And in the body part, I have mentioned, hello friend, this is Sanjay from NIT Warangal. So in the body part, you are getting this one. So this is a live website. Whatever content you can paste here. Let us search for another HTML content, for example, HTML simple content, simple program. Let it be. Huh? So let us take a very simple program from net. Any simple program you can take. Okay. Can anybody share a HTML code in the chat box? Simple HTML code. Can you paste in the chat box? Let us see. I'll replace this content with that content. Okay, see this one. This content I am copying. I'll also paste in the chat box so that you can also try later point of time. Now what you have to do? You have to again do sudo nano index.html. Okay, and you have to paste here. Okay, you can type here. If it is not coming, you can type here. Right, for example, your paste is not working. You have to write KQ unbound. Okay. Okay, no problem. For example, I want to write in the body part another few things. Different fonts I want to write, different heads. Okay, one more line I want to write, let's say. Design a nice page for your website. Okay. I've changed the content. If you again refresh it, you are getting this is the web page, right? So I have used different fonts. Sorry, size you can say, right? Font size. If the font size is large, which is called as H1, this is another font size that is S2, another font size that is S3. Is it clear up to this? Any question till now? Okay. So this is the second one. First, we have seen that how to host a, how to launch an instance. Second, we have seen how to host a website. So there is another concept here, that is you can see AMI. AMI stands for Amazon Machine Image. Why it is popular? Because you can create multiple instances for a single AMI. So if you see the AMI lifecycle, you can create a EMI, then you can create a Amazon Elastic Block store snapshot. And the same snapshot, suppose you have created a particular snapshot, let's say 1, you want to copy that snapshot as a 2. So that also you can do, or you can launch the instances. So let us do how to do this creating an AMI image. Okay. So in order to get instance image, you need the instance summary. Instance summary you can see in the right side. Okay. Action is there. So if you click action, then you can find something called as image and template. Click image and template, then you can create an AMI by clicking create image. Once you click create image, It is asking you to write the image name. Okay. For example, I want to write the image name as AMI image for demo. Right. Then, if you want to provide any description, you can provide it. The size is 8 GB. Okay, that is elastic block store is given as 8. Okay, if you want to add any volume, you can add it of any size, right? For example, you want to add a elastic block storage of 100 GB. That also you can do. Okay, now I'm clicking create image. So you can see here we are getting a message currently creating AMI, that is Amazon machine image from instance. This one instance name is Ubuntu demo. Okay, go to AMI in the left panel. So here you can see this is your AMI ID. This is your AMI ID. So if you want details of AMI, you can click here and you get the details. Okay, so in this way, a simple AMI image, right? Now, as I am saying here, EBS, right? So here you can see also root device type is EBS. EBS is your elastic block store. So let us discuss about elastic block store. What actually it provides? Now, EBS provides block level storage volumes for use with EC2 instance. Okay, some storage is required, right? So the elastic block storage is providing a volume. Like you have C drive, D drive, E drive, F drive. Here we are adding a volume to our EC2 instance. So if you go for Amazon EBS volume, it is durable and it is a block level storage. So it is behave like our hard drive, or you can say SSD, and it is more flexible. Similarly, instead of like EBS volume, you can go for EBS snapshot. So by taking a point in time snapshot, or we call PIT, point in time snapshot, you can back up your data on your Amazon. Like periodically you are taking backup, right? You are storing your data in a external hard drive, or you are creating a image. The same thing you can do with the help of Amazon EBS snapshot. And EBS volume, you can connect it to Amazon S3 also. And these snapshots are incremental backups. Okay, they're not only the backups, they are incremental backups. Okay, like that you can do. And if you see the life cycle of the manager who is managing this thing, so they are actually automatically creating the snapshots as well as this Amazon machine image. Okay, which you can use in multiple region or between two region, right? So generally the snapshots are used in copy to 3 different AWS region if there are cross regions are allowed. Okay, like I told you, some data we are keeping in different availability zones. Okay, and some you are keeping in different regions, right? So automated cross-account snapshot copy, it can be created by the help of this elastic block storage. Okay, so how to do this one? Okay, so open your putty. If you have closed it, then also you can open by using your IP address. You can get your IP address from here, 3.86.94.220. Okay. Now, if you see your putty here, you can type a command that is called as LSBLK. LSBLK. So it is inactive. Okay, let me again start it. Okay, let me run the putty. This is my host name. My host name is here 3.86.94.220. And port is 22. Go to your SSH, go to your authentication and provide your private key file. And open it. Okay. Okay, now it is on. Okay, I am typing lsblk. So here you can see what is the size of the drive here. Can anybody see this one and tell me what is the size of the file? Size of the storage, EBS. What is the size? Here the size is mentioned at 8 GB, right? 8 GB, right? So if you want to change the size from 8 GB to some more, that also you can do. Okay. So how to do this one? Go to your instance summary and get storage. In storage, you can get the root device name is /deb/sda1 and the volume ID is this one. Click the volume ID. So here you can see the space is 8 GB. Select the storage. Okay, select it and go to action. Click modify volume. So suppose I want to change it, right? You can change to any size. The maximum size allowed is 16384 GB. Okay, so you can go for 100 GB also. You can go up to 16,384 GB, but you have to pay for it, right? So I'm making a small change. I'm changing it to 9 GB. Then click modify. So you can see there is a message prompting me that if you are increasing the size of volume, you must extend the file system to the new size of the volume. You can only do this when the volume enters the optimizing state. For more information, see extending file system. And moreover, this modification takes time, as well as you have to pay the price as for the EBS volume. You can click Amazon EBS pricing scheme to get the more details. Okay. But there is a price calculator is also there. This much GB you have to pay per month. Okay, based upon your storage. Okay, whether you are using SSD and another mode, SDD, right? You have to pay. Okay, so I have changed it to 9 just for an illustration purpose. So requested volume modification is modified, but it will take some time to reflect here as 9 GB. Yeah, now you can see the size of my EBS volume is changed to 9 GB. So in this way, you can modify your EBS volume. This is the third one. This is the fourth one. First one we have learned how to launch an instance. Second one is how to host a website. Third one is how to create an Amazon machine image, AMI. Fourth one is how to change the elastic block storage. Okay. The last one is we will see the network and security related aspect in Amazon EC2. Like somebody can use multiple IP addresses. Like, for a particular server, we have multiple IP address. We can host multiple websites on a single server. Okay, or a single server, multiple servers are having multiple IPs also, right? Or you want to operate a network appliances, let it be a router or a gateway that is there in the network you want to operate. or you want to redirect the internal traffic through a load balancer. So in that case, you need multiple IP address. So there is a concept here that is called as elastic IP address. Okay, here you can see in the left panel something called as elastic IPs. Okay, so an elastic IP address is a static IPv4 address that is used for dynamic cloud computing. Okay, even if you have suspended your instances, if there is a static IP address is there, you can still access your instance. And also this elastic IP address is allocated to our AWS account, and it is there with you until you release it. Like the way I told you here, this is the website that we are hosting now. Right? Similar thing you can do here. Now, let us see how to change this one. So go to the instances first. Go to instances. So this instance is now running, right? So let me suspend this instance. So let me stop the instance. So you can see instance state is stop, start, reboot, hibernate, and terminate. Right? Let us not terminate, let us stop the instance. To confirm, you want to stop the instance, choose stop button. Now, you can see you are getting an error in the putty, right? Because it is stopped. Okay, now refresh it. So if you refresh it, go to instance summary, and suppose I want to again view this website, then I will get an error because the instance is now stopped. That's why you can see it is trying to reach that website, but this website is not reachable. Okay. And also you can see in this case, generally you will not get any public DNS IP v6, v4, right? You will not get any public one because it is suspended, but it is stopped. Now, let us assign a elastic IP for it. So for this, you have to go to this elastic IPs. Okay. Then click on allocate elastic IP address. You can see there is a pool of IPv4 addresses we have. And I want to allocate. I'm clicking allocate. So now you can see the allocated address is 3.83.56.173. This IP address is different, 3.86.94220, and it is showing the site cannot be reached. Right? Now what you can do, let us open it in a new tab. Just a minute. So I'm opening this IP address 3.83.56.173. Okay, still you are getting no, the site cannot be reached, right? But you have added one specific IP, this elastic IP address to your instance. Okay, so let me connect it. As it is not connected, I think it is showing error. So go to your instance summary. Or you can see here also. Instance state is stopped, okay. Just a minute. Okay. Yeah, now you allocate this elastic IP address. Okay, that we have done. By clicking allocate, it is going to allocate a IP address for you. Now it is IP address is coming 3 point something. Go to your instance and click associate. Where is it? Just a minute. Two elastic IPs are running. You can later point of time you can release this elastic IP address once it is done. I think both case we are getting error. Yeah, you have to click associate elastic IP address. Now it is asking for the instances. You provide your instance and associate it. That's why it is not coming. Okay, now if you retrieve this page 3.225.218.96, you will get the details about that instance. Similarly, you can also attach 3.83.56173, allocate elastic IP address for the instance which you have created, Ubuntu, and associate it. Okay. Okay, it is stopped. That's why it is sometimes you are not getting. But let us resume it and see. Yeah, I have three IP address for the same instance. One is 3.225.218.96. Once the instance is running, you can check all these IP address points to the same instance. Yeah, it is pending now. Once it will go to running page, we can check. Yeah, now it is in running page. I hope it should come. Yeah, now you can see we are getting the details with this IP. If you check with this IP, also you will get the same content, right? For the same website, you have three different IP address. So it is slow, but you can attach these elastic IPs and get the same website. Yeah, it is not connected. Okay. Yeah, now you can see this particular IP address, you are getting the details of the same website, right? Similarly, I have taken another elastic IP. Go to elastic IP. Here it is 3.83.56.173. Let us associate this elastic IP address. Connect with your instance. Associate it. Once it is associated, then if you replace it, so I think it is only giving one IP address, permission of one IP address. That's why it is not coming. But normally you can get multiple IP address you can run for the same instance. Yeah. You can see here. It is associated with this instance ID. Okay, so in this way you can attach multiple static IP v4 address to your website so that the traffic can be minimized, right? So these are the type of different experiments you can do with Amazon EC2. Okay, if you have any question you can ask. And finally you have to delete these things, otherwise it will be active. Then if it is exceed your free quota, then definitely you have to pay more.